Now, this past week, our good buddy Bert over here got a chance to go do something special and meet somebody that we all know and love and cherish, actually.
Oh,
and this is
I
an
can't do
absolute
this.
honor for us right now to have Johnny Z and Martha on the line with us. Johnny, how are you?
How you doing?
Doing outstanding, my friend. Doing outstanding. We got Bert's over here. You know Bert.
Hey, Johnny, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Bert.
Hi, Marsha. How are you, doll?
And, Marsha. And John, we also have...
I'm great.
That's outstanding. This is great, dude. You have no idea. Like, we're all over here having a family moment.
Sweating.
Chris had to take
Totally sweating right now.
He had to take some breathing stuff because you're a mess, dude. And Chris Natalini, the singer of Blood Feast, is here with us as well. So this is a very special moment for us. And I just want to say, John, thanks for giving us a little bit of time today because it's Memorial Day weekend. We know that, but this is it's great because you have been incredibly instrumental in our lives growing up, and I'm pretty sure you're well aware of that.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
So, all right, John. So, take us through a little bit about I've been to your record store up north, and it was amazing, and how you evolved from the record store to Megaforce Records, and how it just became unbelievably, fantastic. How did you decide you were going to do that?
What kind of questions you asking me? You think I know the answer to these questions?
That is outstanding. I'm kind of hoping you would.
I got to be honest with you. There's no answer to these questions unless you want me to start talking to you about God, and that's not the kind of show you have.
No, it's not.
Say, if you build it, they will come. Well, we built it.
That is outstanding.
And they did come.
And they did.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
No.
Well, you know what I'll say to everybody? You have to have a supreme belief that what you're doing is the right thing and that it's going to happen. Or don't waste your time. It's got to be something you really feel it's going to happen and you feel progress coming all the time. If you don't, and you don't put everything into it, you're wasting your time.
Yep.
No, I hear you.
Absolutely.
I hear you. Now, something I have to get off my chest because I was talking to Burton and Chris about this, John, is, you had the foresight to see some of the most instrumental bands in history in metal and to say, okay, I'm going to take a chance on, say, Metallica. I mean, how did you know? Did you know that these bands were going to be such an inspiration to all of us metalheads? I mean, I'm almost 50, and I still love these bands and still go to see them, these days. But back in the day, you had the foresight to know I'm going to sign this band.
Well, you have to realize it all starts with an understanding and a love for the music.
Right.
If you're into Duran Duran, you're not going to know what Metallica is when it bites you on the nose.
Right.
But when you're into Motorhead and Angel Witch and Raven and Anvil and Venom, up comes Metallica from America, and you hear that sound and the melody that nobody else had, song after song after song, and you sort of realize that this is the shiznit, man.
That's great.
And I got to say, when I went down and met John and Marsha, the love for the music is still there. It's still there. We listened to some great music. We listened to a band you're currently working with, which is Soilwork. And,
right.
We just sat around and listened to metal. Just a couple of metalheads having a good time listening to some great music because it pumps, the metal pumps through our blood. Am I right, John?
The blood runs, what can I say?
Yeah.
What is it that runs through us? Lava?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Molten.
Right.
This is a very special music. There's many forms of it, but if you take each one where it was in time, you'll find that you are dealing with the best music of its decade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find that. I mean, there was jazz, and there was all kinds of great other kinds of music, but I think since 1981, I don't know, for me, Marsha may not feel that way, but for me, I like metal, I mean,
right.
I still listen to Raven, I still listen to Michael Schenker, I still listen to Gary Moore. You know,
Right,
I still
yeah.
listen to all that stuff.
Right. So wait, Marsha, is Marsha's musical taste a little different, or?
Well, I'm just sometimes a little broader based than Johnny. As much as I love metal, I still can kick back with some amazing jazz, some Chick Corea and Al
Yeah, man.
Viola, and get my rocks off. But I love the metal because it just pounds into my chest and it lets all those demons out.
There you
know,
go.
all those days of hard work. It just pours out of you through your pores.
Very nice. All right, so let me ask you this, because the question I'm thinking of, you're talking about, a little bit of musical differences, but obviously you both love metal.
Absolutely.
How hard was it for you, when you decided to go from the record store to a record label to, were you all on board, Marsha, with, the idea of Megaforce Records, or did you have reservation when Johnny's like, hey, I want to do this?
Well, I thought, two kids from New Jersey, what the hell did we know? But
Apparently
I
a lot.
Said it all. So I said, you believe, I believe.
We both
What do we got
believe.
to lose?
We both believe. Remember what I said? You got to put it all on the line when you believe.
That's right.
We were talking Metallica is the next Led Zeppelin when people didn't know who they were yet.
Right. All right, so Bert was telling me a little bit about how you got a chance to talk to him about Cliff Burton. So, I mean...
Yeah, we definitely would, because most people who are like us are just fans of Metallica, and, Cliff left us so early, and it was a shame. And we can all sit around and talk about how much of an influence he was, how he influenced... I know almost every bass player that I know.
Right.
Cliff Burton is one of the major influences. And you two, John and Marsha... Obviously, you knew Cliff Burton on a personal basis, so I just wanted you to, wanted to ask you, to let the crowd know, how was he, how was Cliff Burton? What kind of a person Cliff Burton was? It's outside of being an awesome bass player.
He just the dichotomy of anesthesia pulling teeth. He was a soft, great, warm, caring human being. Just a pleasure to have known, and an honor to have had the privilege to live with for a while and work with for a period of time, and be able to introduce him to the world.
Everybody was downstairs raging at the old Castle Megaforce.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody from Excited to Ravens to Anvil. But Cliff saw my daughter was distracted, and he went and he read her bedtime stories at night.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
That's awesome, man.
With me.
That's absolutely fantastic.
I mean, could you imagine having memories of that?
Yeah, that's something special right there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, give us one story about Cliff. I mean, you told us about your daughter, but what's one thing that people should know about Cliff that people don't know? Because that's always one thing I've always wondered about.
Attached to his bass. Constant. I mean, he was just, wherever he was, standing, sitting, eating, that bass was in his hands, and he was just constantly plucking those strings.
I think that's
We
awesome.
last saw him 2 days before he passed away.
Right.
In England on Carnaby Street. And Lemmy had turned him on to the Great Bullfrog to get some really cool jewelry. That's where Lemmy's Motorhead rings came from and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking and laughing, having a good time, and we went our way, he went his way, and we never saw each other again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a shame. All right, so I have another question for you, because one of my favorite albums of all time is the first Fraley's Comet album. And that is an absolutely amazing album. You guys took a chance on Ace Frehley after the whole Kiss debacle. Why?
Why would you not take a chance on Ace Frehley? I'm happy Ace Frehley took a chance on Megaforce.
No, listen, I totally get it, and that's the right answer, but I mean, because I know
No,
like,
that's
the perception that was
Ace
out.
Frehley, man.
No, dude, I'm a huge Kiss fan. So, the perception was, that Ace was, a little out there or what have you, and then that's kind of why, the whole drug thing with Kiss. And, here's, next, Fraley's Comet, working with, Anton Fig and what have you. And Johnny Z goes, yep, let's take them, And to me, that was sheer brilliance because that album is, to me, a staple in the metal world as well as a lot of the Kiss albums.
Absolutely a classic.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So let's ask you.
When you hear brilliance, you just want to have a hand in it. And
Sure.
He came to us with tracks, and they were as brilliant as ever. And we said, you want us? Well, we'll take you, and let's go for it.
That's absolutely amazing that Ace came to you guys. I think that is fantastic, man. But that tells you one thing. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
We wanted to impress Ace. We didn't know what level of restaurants he went to. So we took him to this real swanky joint to sort of celebrate our deal. And we went down to this restaurant with all this great food. And everybody's going, hello, Paul, Paul, how are you? And I'm going, geez, this is wonderful. Did he put all these people in this restaurant?
Nice.
And we sit down, and you know what he orders?
What?
A tuna fish sandwich.
Are you kidding me?
Not at all.
It's been in magazines.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding, man. So, I mean, we could talk Megaforce all day long with you, but the one thing I do want to know, you're obviously retired now, just you got a little bit of a fascination with Nightmare Before Christmas. And, Bert brought you down some stuff for Nightmare Before Christmas. And tell us a little bit about how you got so hooked on that. I love the movie personally.
Well, first of all, it's Marsha and I once again.
Mm-hmm.
We just fell in love with the romance between Sally and Jack.
Right.
And the way they looked at each other in the eyes with remorse and love at the same time. And we loved that
sweet.
big fat mayor.
Oh, he's
And
my
we loved
favorite.
The Behemoth kid, the Behemoth, the kids, the Christmas scene with the kids opening up the present and taking the presents, and oh man, just the whole, that it comes from a tree
Night.
in a forest.
Very nice.
This all just blew my brains out. Not to mention, this is the best music ever.
Right.
And
Fantastic soundtrack, man.
And then when we got the opportunity, because they started to bring out all the characters in 3D where we could touch them and feel them and smell them, we just had to have them. It was like an addiction.
Nice.
Absolutely.
one of the first pieces we bought was hand sculpted by Tim Burton, 12 faces of Jack in a beautiful box. Came with gloves, so you don't mar them when you handle them. Hands written in the back, about 300 or 100 made.
Wow.
That was a beautiful piece we had.
Amazing.
And now we have the Mike Williams extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm.
We have that magnificent 4.5-foot Jack forged in steel.
It's an
if I ever went out to battle, I'd take Jack with me instead of a sword.
Nice. Very nice.
It is an absolutely fantastic piece, no doubt about it.
Looks great.
Very nice.
Looks great. This is Chris, John, and Marsha. I have a question for you, especially for Marsha, because I didn't realize, thinking about this question, I didn't realize she was going to be on with us. But first of all, I'm very excited to talk to you, number one. Number two,
Thank you.
so Marsha, I'm guessing through the years you guys have kind of become family with a lot of the bands that you have, discovered and promoted through the years. And I would like to know, Marsha, what did you think? There's so much hate towards Metallica over the years about them changing their look and their style and James's vocals and all that. And
Guilty as charged.
was there ever a time where you questioned their changing, or did you always stay loyal to them and just kind of just saw them through all that hate and all the stuff that they got through the years?
Well, if we're going to talk about Metallica, they never did and still live in black jeans and tank tops. They've never changed that look.
Right.
They stayed true to it throughout. Yeah, they may have changed their hair a bit, but I don't know, maybe that just comes from wanting to cover up a little more of that gray that absolutely can't help but show through. I thought Anthrax had the balls of a gorilla to put on shorts and dance around the stage the way they did.
Right, so...
But for the most part, I think more bands than not have stayed true to their beginnings of how they looked and what they were, and 35 years later remain.
Hey, let's look at that little sidestep that Metallica made. A lot of people said boo, 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 his, but all those people are back. And the thing is that I have a feeling the next album is going to be a motherfucker.
Nice.
You know?
Nice, absolutely.
And you know what kind?
I hope so.
You know? And the thing is this, if it isn't, look what they've done already.
No, absolutely, sir. I totally
And
agree
you
with
got
you.
to give them respect. They're musicians.
Agree.
And their minds are going to grow and develop, and they're going to try on different things that they sometimes are. Some of the stuff is liked more than others. Well, that's okay too.
Sure.
You know?
Well, you know,
I
this,
don't understand the Lou Reed, but that's their business, you know?
Right.
You know?
I guess, you know, to be honest, I'm guilty as charged, you know, because I love all the Cliff Burton stuff. Not Cliff Burton stuff, geez. Yeah, Cliff Burton stuff, you know, up to Master of Puppets. And it just seemed like to me that they lost a lot in the writing style, even when Injustice came out. And then afterwards, to me, it just came, I don't know, you know? And I'm guilty as charged as being that guy, you know, it's that I'm stuck at the first three albums, or, you know, 3 albums and a half.
Right.
You know, I'm stuck at that, and I can't get past it because it doesn't seem to me like it's Metallica. Am I wrong for saying that?
Yeah. I think you're so wrong. You probably should be in detention.
Don't tell my wife that.
I love it.
I love the beatdown Rich just got from
I'm
Johnny
fine
Z.
with it. I'm fine with it because I'm just being honest. You know, I'm totally
Hey,
fine
man,
with it.
let's put it this way. You can't make everybody happy all the time, and the only thing constant is change. Put them together, and what do you got? Maybe the new Metallica album.
I'm hoping.
Right.
I really am hoping.
Right.
You know, because like Saint Anger to me was a good album. You know, to a certain point, I didn't like the production at all.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I guess the easy thing to say is
That's
I'm waiting.
magnetic. You know, those snare drums from hell. That's the only thing I don't understand.
Right? I hear you, man.
You know, I don't understand that, but there's some great old sounds, and there's a piece that stinks from old Metallica on that.
Yeah, I have
You
to.
know, and forgive me because I don't play it as much as I play Ride,
Right.
Kill, Master, and Justice, you know?
Right.
But I'm not so familiar like I am with those,
Right.
you know? So, what can I say? You know, I just think God bless Metallica, man. That's what I think. I really do.
John, you know, without the two of you, you know, a lot of our listeners, like, you really shaped our entire childhood, our teenage years. I mean,
molded our minds.
yeah,
Yes,
you know, you
absolutely.
guys put out so many great bands with great music, and you know, you just, I'm sure you've heard it before, but I have this opportunity to tell you that, you know, I could speak for the four of us sitting here, that you really kind of shaped our teenage years, and thank you so much for the music that you've given us.
Yeah.
Your parents aren't listening, right?
No, they're not. No, they're not. That's outstanding. So, all right. So the question I have for you two, you know, outside of the whole metal realm and what have you, obviously you're a little bit retired. So, what are you two doing right now with your lives?
Well, let's put it this way. We're very close to soil work from Sweden, to the point of advising and helping them and doing whatever we can out of pure love for their music. We are crazy about
Shattered
Sun from
Alice,
Texas, near Corpus Christi, and every day feels like Christmas working with my friend Scott Kelly, who is the maestro for the Wizards of Winter, which is a hard rock traveling metal show, Christmas show that is wonderful. Wonderful. It's really a great, great show. And I also advise from Canada a horror punk fellow who's quite amazing, sort of in a Bowie way, by the name of Nim Vind. But all these 4 characters sort of have our blessing, and whatever we can do, we try to do for them. We're not quite the crackerjacks we were in our heyday when we swung from chandeliers and dueled with beer in our other hands, but we give good advice in our old age.
There you go, man. Well, Jon, Marsha, we want to thank you so much for giving us some time today. An absolute pleasure and a shock to be able to talk to you. Because when Bert told us, I might be able to get Johnny Z on the show, we're like, stop. And it happened.
Anytime, Bert. How's that?
Listen, it was. You guys are the greatest. It was an absolute pleasure meeting both of you, and I really do want to thank you for coming on and giving us a little bit of time and a little insight into the metal world that shaped us all. I really do appreciate it.
And I also want to thank you because the chat room's telling me that I'm an idiot now.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to let us talk to you.
Oh,
no problem.
Anytime.
Thank you, too, for doing what you have done for us.
thank you so
Period.
much.
All right, take care, guys.
Oh,
care,
goodbye.
All right, there it was.
Holy
Johnny Z.
fuck.
There it
Marsha,
goes.
that was
Dude.
outstanding.
Join the online revolution now and spread the word. Toxic Radio. Play it safe. Play it toxic.